CSA putting a claim on their ally, Missouri. So CSA now has a claim on their ally. Hi guys, welcome to today's video. In today's video, we will continue our alternate future of the USA series. And thank you for tuning in. And in today's video, some interesting stuff shall happen. As, let's put the tension, and I'll put the tension of the border of this alliance into basically just the CSA. But California has been having some internal problems, which might be used to the advantage of some separatists, with two groups popping up in California, headed into civil war, with a Red Army rising up in the South. What is a Red Army, you may wonder? Well, it's a Californian Red Army. Basically, it's a Californian United Soviet Socialist California. And yeah, the Californian Civil War, at first going in the favor of the Red Army, which leads to soon Nevada's Declaration of Independence, along with Utah's. But with their alliance being called in, and really they're only securing the North. But in some fronts, like in the center of this, the Red Army does struggle, especially where they're melting, where the equipment isn't doing so well. Specifically in the desert. I guess California could fall into. Well, with California becoming a world power of such, that would be if this wasn't, say it was a world map and not just the US, but I guess they are an American superpower, just like Texas, which became the CSA. And this is about where the Declaration of Independence of Nevada happens. Nevadans leaving the Californian Empire. And soon after, New Mexico starts an insurgence with the support of the CSA. They managed to get enough support within their own territory, right, to start a revolution. The New Mexican Revolution is a powerful revolution. It shows the Californian world is not staying on their feet so well, as this basically is a huge attack. Not only that, but even other states, Utah starts a revolution, as their Declaration of Independence didn't work so well, as they were crushed before they could do it. But this Utah revolution is also a big deal, as it shows Californian order. After falling into civil war, the Californian Empire hasn't been able to keep its states in line. So a lot of the people are now becoming pro-state, whatever state they are, which basically stalemates both of their fronts. But soon, California moves towards negotiations. Not just them, but the Union. The Californian Empire and the communists aren't ending up so well. So yeah, the revolution in New Mexico has significantly, with many rebellious areas having left already, but the Southern Revolution with Red forces was going really well. Which is a pact, or the pact in this region being dismantled, basically. With the Utah forces not as organized and not as morale was in their fight as with the New Mexican. And they've learned a thing or two of the warfare of these rebels. With the Californian Empire doing pretty bad in the Civil War, as all things, all empires fall at some day. And many countries aren't going to join, say, the CSA because they know war is about to come. I mean, the Northwest Pact. And as California swiftly taken out this area, the People's Republic of California, they're going to have to rebuild before they can take these countries on that left. Because they made agreements on not attacking for a few years. Now, the Californian emperor escaping with communism happening. With the Californian People's Republic being formed out of thin air. Fine, that's such a lie, but yeah. They are being formed, which is great. The U.S. as its first communist nation. With the U.S. being frightened of this. For one reason. Oh, states don't like communism, I guess. And well, after the fall of California, let's call it, it was the Californian Civil War. After California's democracy has fallen, California is looking a bit different. But one major event that came was, after a vote in Montana, Montana decides to leave Cascadia, along with Idaho. Which might be a big deal, might lead to a bit of a war. Leave. A war is quickly declared on the states that left. Which at first goes in the favor of the attacker. At first. With them steamrolling into Illinois. And this steamroll has been pretty successful. As it takes most of southern and starts moving into southern Montana. With Montana being basically... But the situation changes with the entrance of a new country to the battlefield. Which is Wyoming, who has the support... who California loses all this land to. As it's trying to hold a big front. And the front has just got bigger. With the retreat of these lands. Idaho is hungry for some land. With them now launching a spearhead to Seattle. No, let's say to some Salem maybe, which was the capital of Cascadia. Cascadia surrenders, and the Treaty of 4, which is known as the Final War of Dominance. The Final War of the North. The fine is not known as that, but yeah. With the CSA now wanting to restore historical borders. And restore its strength. And its name so quickly it invades. Which it takes out most of the southern area of it. And where they have their capital is unknown. So basically, they run right through the territory. And then a ceasefire is signed. Why? Because of the amount of land taken. And it's Illinois, Illinois, really united with another state, but yeah. Indiana and Illinois, along with Michigan, all declare war on the Midwest states. The Midwest states isn't appearing to be too strong. With their goal to take back their old lands and move into Wisconsin and Minnesota. With the Great Lakes Pact being unable to defend it. And being cakewalked. To the point where the Dakotas, which were some of the first members to this, started a revolt in the north. And they meet up. Their forces. I think that's where they are. They might be over a bit. But yeah. They start their revolt and it goes really well. Along with the Great Lakes Pact succeeding fire in the Minnesota. The world sees this. Well, the America sees it. With a peace treaty eventually being signed between Michigan and Illinois against forces, or Dakota forces, which is what they're called. More areas are deciding to turn against the Great Lake, this Northwest Union, including Nebraska and Nebraska and joins this revolt. And soon after, the central government has fallen. But it's not necessarily noticed yet. That's definitely going to collapse. There's still a chance. But people's opinions change on that chance. Really quick, the world sees, oh, there's no chance if ever I revolt. With Iowa successfully completing their goals. Well, that's basically turning into a zone of anarchy. After another attack was completed by Nebraska, Iowa takes its last attack. And that's where the Great Lakes, the Northwest Union has collapsed. After being a big part of this series, has finally collapsed. A lot of the big nations have collapsed in today's video. And a new pact, the Great Lakes Pact, is back, guys. After it has fallen apart. An election in what's left of Cascadia, communists were elected. So quickly, they created the Communist Pact, which is a union of different communist nations, which is for the common good. Whereas the CSA basically has a more nationalistic one, and then the Great Lakes Pact is pretty democratic. And Hawaii is just chilling. It was a friend, where the Empire of California's emperor fled to Hawaii. So yeah. And well, the Californian commune has really weird borders. Maybe they'll fix it by invading Nevada or someone. But who knows? Will communism dominate the states, or will neutrality? White states are pretty much neutral, by the way. Maybe leaning, but they're basically neutral. And if you think of it, that's all for today's video. We have 135 subscribers left before September 1st to reach our goal. So can you please subscribe so we make it there before... Well, then again, we're definitely going to make it. So maybe you should subscribe. There's also a subscriber special then, and we're only 135 subscribers away. So please like and subscribe and subscribe and subscribe and subscribe and subscribe and subscribe. That's all for today's video. Wild Mapper out, but not until you subscribe. That's bye, guys.